Hi, everybody. My name is Chris Carter. I'm the Executive Director at Livermore Valley Arts with the Bankhead Theater. And I'm here with some wonderful staff members, and we are super excited because this week we announced our new 23-24 Bankhead Presents season. And we're here to all kind of talk about this season and what we're excited about. But first, we all need to introduce ourselves. So why don't we start over here with Justin? Why don't you let us know about you?
All right. Hello, my name is Justin Beasley. I am a box office and marketing associate. It's great to be here today, and I'm very excited for this podcast.
He's also a very good singer, so keep that in mind.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Andrew Crocht. I'm the marketing manager here at Livermore Valley Arts, and I'm really excited to talk about this upcoming season today.
And Andrew's also very talented on the stage as well.
Thank you.
I'm Brittany Mulgrew. I'm the development manager here at the Bankhead Theater, and it is a very exciting season. We're really looking forward to it.
Hi, I'm Pam Harvey. I'm the hospitality coordinator, and I'm looking forward to this season too. There's going to be some excitement going on backstage.
Hi, I'm Gary Brunswick, and I am the production manager. And I too am looking forward to this season because it seems to be the best one we've had in a long, long time.
Ooh, and I'm Ruth Eggerman. I'm the director of marketing here at the Bankhead, and I'm super excited about so many shows this season. Can't wait to tell you all about them.
So we're going to be talking about the season, and we all have programs, right? So everybody knows what's coming up, and we've all been asked to think of like your top 5, right? I personally cannot pick 5, but I'm going to try my best. But Andrew, you want to tell us kind of what I put you on the spot first because I like you. So why don't you tell us what you've been thinking about for this next season? And by the way, Andrew has this weird ability. Wait, hold on. What date is Napoleon Dynamite live?
Friday, November 3rd.
Okay, what date is Folsom 68?
That is Friday, February 9.
Oh my gosh. What date is Danu?
Saturday, March 16.
And then what about Brickbeat?
Saturday, January 6th.
Oh my.
It's amazing, right?
Even the day of the week. I am impressed.
He's like some sort of savant.
He knows all the shows inside and out. So tell us, someone that has the most intimate knowledge of everything here, why don't you tell us what you're thinking about?
Well, the number one right off the bat that I'm really excited about, and it's one of the posters we have in the hallways for when patrons come to the Bankhead. I'm so excited for Brian Stokes Mitchell to come to the Bankhead. Obviously, I'm a big Broadway person. He is a Tony Award winner. My first exposure to him was walking by my mother on the couch in the early 2000s. He was opposite Reba McEntire in the PBS South Pacific, and I have such vivid memories of hearing him sing Some Enchanted Evening opposite Reba. And I mean, I've been in shows that, he's the cast reporting, I hear his voice, so much just amazing baritone talent, and I am so thrilled that he's going to be on our stage singing Broadway songs I know and don't know. So I cannot wait for that in November.
Was he Man of La Mancha, right?
Yes,
It was like the big one that he did.
The Impossible Dream. Mm-hmm.
And then was he on TV too? Wasn't he in a TV show?
Oh, that I don't know.
I think I saw that.
He was on, oh my gosh, it was like a police drama or something.
A police drama?
I don't remember.
I
He's
I
on.
really
he's
don't
TV
know, but I
expert.
believe you.
I believe it. I really only know his
Somebody
Broadway
pulled their
stuff.
phone out and figured it
So
out.
Google
But I
is our
know
friend.
I
Google
know.
is our
I know
friend. This is something to find out.
TV star. Okay, so Brian Stokes Mitchell. I'm excited about him too. He's never been here.
Nope.
And I think vocalists, my favorite performers on the stage, there's 2 of them. I love acoustic guitar in this room, but I also love great vocalists because I think this room really works well with vocals. Justin, I mean, you're a singer, right?
Yes.
Tell me, when you come here, is that what you kind of listen for?
Yes, usually, especially when it comes to vocals, I want to know, is the room or the space acoustically sound? If it is, great. If it isn't, let's just hope everyone can hear and everything goes well. But I'm glad that the Bankhead has great acoustics in here, that we're able to hear everything, and no matter where you are, you have a good area to hear everything.
And what show are you looking forward to the most?
I would say it's something that my mom is looking forward to as well, is a Bobby McFerrin motion. She is
Yes.
super excited about that. I'm very excited about it, and I've checked out some of his stuff, and I'm just like, I'm so excited.
Has she ever seen him before?
She has once. She's seen him once. It was I forget when, but when she told me that he was coming here, she wanted to make sure, Justin. So
Yeah.
do you have anything? It's coming. Just like it's coming.
You better hook her up with some good tickets.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
I've seen Bobby McFerrin twice. Once, I don't know, it must have been about 15 or 20 years ago. I saw him down in Southern California with Pacific Symphony, and he was performing with the symphony behind him. I don't know, there's probably 2,000 seats in that venue at the Sigerson Hall. He was just so, like, he has such a stage presence. It's, excuse me, it's really unbelievable. Like, you just are enveloped by his warmth. And that was in a 2,000 seat theater. And then I saw him again solo without any backup, not drums, nothing, just a cappella up in Sonoma State. And that was like 750 seats.
Oh.
I can't wait to see him in this theater doing whatever magic he does, because it is absolutely magical. So I'm there with you that night.
Yes.
You and me both,
Afternoon.
although hopefully the day works for me, but I definitely want to be
Andrew would
there.
know what time it is. It's an
Saturday, September 16th at 3.
At 3 p.m.?
It's an afternoon matinee for us on a weekend.
On a
Right.
Saturday.
Yes.
On a Saturday.
Saturday.
So I think that's I agree with you, Justin. I think that's going to be such a fabulous show.
Right.
Gary, what are you looking forward to next year?
Well, for me, I might be a little slighted because I look at the groups that are coming and I see numerous people that I used to tour with coming through this year. So it's a reuniting for me and my friends. But I'm really looking forward to, obviously, the Righteous Brothers. I mean, they are just hit after hit after hit. They're known by multiple generations. But probably my biggest show I'm looking forward to is a pretty unknown band named the Immediate Family.
Yep.
I can't talk enough about these guys. I mean, if you've listened to James Taylor, Linda Ronstadt, Jackson Brown, Roger McGuinn, any of these Southern California people, these guys were the players that made the records. They were the bass player, the drummer, guitar player Warren Zevon. I think they're just fantastic. Their record is really smoking. I downloaded that and listened to that. So that's the show I'm looking forward to the most.
That's going to
But
be a
there's
rock show,
plenty
right?
others.
It's
It
going
is
to be
a
a rock show, right?
But you know me, I like rock shows.
Turn it up.
Wait, when is the Immediate Family, Andrew?
Friday, February 16th.
Okay.
That's my mother's birthday. Maybe I'll take her for her birthday.
Well, she is your immediate family.
She's
That was good.
Oh, man. That's awesome. Sorry, I just totally cut me off guard with that great joke. I'm looking forward to that too. The other rock show that I think is going to be pretty cool is the Rolling Stones Classic Albums Live. So that's a tour. A classic. We haven't done this one before, but they've been here in the past. And what they do is they pick an album, a famous record, and they essentially play it note for note, the first half of the show, and then there's an intermission, and then you come back, and they'll do other songs by the group. And it's not really a tribute band. They're not dressed like the band. They don't talk about the history. They really just play the music, and it's really good. We've had them do Fleetwood Mac. There was the Rumors album they did. I feel like there was a Pink Floyd one we did years ago. Do you remember what else we might have done with that?
We've done quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done quite a few last
There was a Beatles. The first one was a
Yeah.
Beatles.
Well, we did Beatles last year, I think it was.
Oh yeah, I mean, so it's a great tour. So looking really forward to that one. And it's the Sticky Fingers album.
You said it.
I know. Sometimes I have a hard time saying the word fingers in front of people, but but I do want to say it because that's a great album. Probably one of
think
their
it's the best.
Yeah, their best ones.
So in the second half, what will they do? So will they do
They'll do
covers
other
or do they
Stones.
do original music?
They'll do Stones.
Oh, okay, so
Covers
there's
of Stones, but other
Rolling Stones.
other songs off the
Okay.
record.
Yeah, so that's the other big rock show. Pam, so you're the hospitality manager, which means you're backstage with the crew or the band, the performers, and you're making sure they get the food that they need, all the TLC. You're kind of like the mom backstage.
Yes, I am.
It's like when Carl Bernstein was here and he was feeling under the weather and she got him some special tea and all this stuff, and he was
Throat lozenges.
great by the time he started. It was really fun. So some of these you've worked with before. Is there any ones you remember that you really like?
Oh, I liked Roger McGuinn.
Yeah.
I love that he was in the Birds. It was before when I was really listening to music and back in the day, but I just found him to be a very kind man. He's very talented and he has a lot of fun when he goes out on stage. So, and backstage he was a delight. He had his wife with him and they were quite a couple. So as far as return, I'd like to see him.
Yep.
On my list, I have the Four Phantoms. And the reason I have the Four Phantoms is I've seen the play, and I thought it was fabulous.
Yep.
And to hear four of them at the same time is going to be phenomenal, especially on our stage. And then the chandelier, I don't know if we're gonna have a chandelier.
We could.
Maybe nice.
Disco ball.
Disco ball
Yeah.
falling
Why
onto
not?
the
Somewhere.
stage.
Since
Yeah.
Get a
Phantom closed,
chandelier.
maybe we
Note
can borrow it.
to put that in venue.
I put a
I mean,
chandelier.
Yeah, the writer.
it's gonna swing, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking
Let's
forward
figure
to
out how much that
too.
costs for it.
And that one is even more, I mean, I say excited, well, because, I mean, a day I thought would never come just came a few weeks ago. The show actually closed in New York.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally thought it would be running my entire lifetime. And it
And it
closed
did.
after 35 years.
Did.
Yeah.
And so no, the fact that it's closing,
Yeah.
that it closed and now there's still a way to have Phantom in your life for those Broadway fans. You know, people have such, I remember when the show closed, I saw so many friends just sharing stories and I didn't realize the show was such a part of so many people that I knew's theater, you know, history. So that's gonna be such an exciting one to see these four Phantoms from different times singing songs from Phantom and other great musicals on the stage.
That was the first musical I ever saw.
Oh, yeah, you said that.
When I was 18 years old.
Wow.
And I didn't even know how to get there. And this is before GPS. And I just figured, I'm gonna go where all the big buildings are in town and I'm gonna find it in San Francisco.
That's where
It was at the Orpheum. I think it was the Orpheum.
Orpheum, yeah.
And then I remember parking in this parking garage and I asked the guy, can you tell me where the Orpheum is? And he goes, yeah, it's right across the street. I had found it for some magical phantom way. I found it. But yeah, I remember I fell in love with musicals too after watching that. And it's such a great introduction for people to that genre. So I'm very excited that that's going to be here. That's a big tour. It's going to be a big show.
And also to hear them all four of them as a quartet and hear them harmonize with
Yeah.
each other. I think I'm most excited to hear what they all sound like because we've heard them all separately in this role, but to hear them all sound together in a quartet and just blending together, I'm most excited about
Yeah.
that.
Well, and I'm curious because Brittany has worked here probably longer than anybody, I'm gonna guess. So you've seen more shows on this stage than anybody else. So first of all, you've been at the Bankhead for pretty much every season.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell us this is the best season ever, right?
Well, you know, it does look that way.
does
It looks,
look
it
that way.
looks like it's gonna be the best season ever. Yeah, I've seen a whole lot of shows here. The patron experience has always been something that I've enjoyed, getting to talk to people, especially at our season announcement party. The buzz this year and the excitement, and I was actually able to help several people with their ticket orders, and some of them were like, I'm gonna be here quite a few times the month of November. I'm just gonna be here every weekend.
I heard so many times. Let me just say real quick.
yeah.
We just had our season announcement party 2 days ago, and I heard so many times in the lobby, "Oh boy, I'm spending a lot next year." So, no, the
Yes.
excitement is definitely
Yes,
felt.
I felt that on Wednesday night with a lot of folks, And they just, a lot of them said, I'm going to do these now, and then I'm going to talk to friends and get more tickets. So that was really fun to hear. And it is nice because I've been to every single season announcement party that we've had. Because, I got hired in November or December of 2007, the year we opened.
Wow.
So, and I've worked in several different departments, and I used to sell tickets. So that was a lot of fun to get to know patrons that way and then move into development and fundraising and get to know more members. But of the shows, it was like the same thing most of y'all said, is it's really hard to pick. But my husband has been asking for a few years if we could get Buffalo Nichols.
Yeah.
He's been following him for a few years. So I'm familiar with him and Lizzie know. And I just was listening to him again, and his voice is incredible. It's that smoky,
It's gonna sound good in
bluesy,
here.
earthy sound. And I know we've had blues people here, but he's a young guy, and I think he's bringing some real fun energy to blues, and I think it's going to be incredible. And all three of them just have unique sounds that totally contribute to that genre. I didn't realize, but Lizzie No also plays the harp.
Yes.
So I
yes.
think
I
that'll
found out
be
about
really
that too,
cool.
and I thought
Yeah.
that was amazing.
I just found out about
Yeah.
that, and I was like, this will be just an incredible show. So I do have tickets for that. And I have tickets for about 8 different shows, which is probably the most I've ever had, if I'm being
awesome.
completely honest.
That's
I
awesome.
have tickets for 8 different shows.
Well, somebody told me Lizzie No is playing this weekend at, what's the festival?
Hardly Strictly?
Hardly Strictly.
Yeah.
Was
She's
it-
played
was
there
it
more
Lizzie
than
No
once.
or
Well, Sunny War
Sunny War that was
also-
playing on Hardly Strictly.
I think Sunny War's at Hardly Strictly.
Also,
Well,
so
Liz-
both of them are there.
Lizzie has played before at Hardly
Yeah.
Strictly.
Okay.
I don't know if she's there again this year.
And I saw Buffalo Nichols and Lizzie No are going to be at the SF Jazz this summer.
Oh, awesome.
So they truly are rising voices, and so
They are.
I think that'll probably be one of my favorite shows that I'm looking forward to.
I think one of the
also.
things about that show in particular is I think you're going to really feel the intimacy of this theater. I feel like when people like that, like Ron Artis, when I think about Ron Artis' show from this year, and he's similar in terms of genre, a little bit, singer-songwriter, has a unique voice. These three have unique voices, unique perspectives to bring to our stage, and I think that the audience and the artists are going to have this really wonderful conversation, whether it's through the music or through actual conversation back and forth. That's one of the greatest things about being in this theater, like being an audience member in this theater, is like feeling that moment. Because I'm often just sort of sitting there taking in both what's on stage and what's in the audience and what's happening. And those are the moments that really stand out for me. And I think that show in particular, Rising Voices, which is on
Friday, November 17th.
Friday, November 17th.
Nailed it.
I think it's really going to be one of those shows that's people are going to be sorry they missed it, they don't go.
Yeah.
They're going to
Yeah,
hear about
that's-
it and they'll be like, oh my God, I should have gone to
That's going to be
that.
a great show.
And to add on to that, it's the fact that they each sound so different from each other, but they all have such a unique sound to them. With I know Lizzie No has more of this. I'm either confusing her or Sunny War. I think one of them is more indie singing. One of them is more blues and jazz, which is more I think Nicholas Buffalo Nichols. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
and then
Lizzie
Sunny
No
War.
is almost she's kind of country.
Yeah,
almost.
she gets all
She's
yeah,
got
she
a
almost country as well.
Yeah.
She got a little folk
Folky,
feel,
yeah,
a little bit of folk
country.
music.
Sunny War's got a little kind of
Roots.
soul roots. So,
Yeah.
Americana.
Yeah, she said on her bio, she said something like, you should feel everything and then deal with it. And then she tries to incorporate
Puts
that
it
into her music.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, ooh, I can't wait. I'm gonna be feeling everything that night. But yeah, that looked really cool. I like when singer-songwriters especially, because there's just a lot of emotion in their music.
Yeah.
One of the cool things for me when I'm doing this job and we're trying to look at these different artists, I'll get emails from agents and they'll send me the roster. And if I don't know who it is, I'll look them up. And oftentimes I'll look somebody up and it's like I'm discovering some new musician and all of a sudden I'm listening to them all the time. So that kind of happened to me with Lizzie No.
Right.
Gabby Moreno last year, same thing. I didn't really know her, and then now it's like she's on my regular rotation. And another one that happened to me for that or that happened to me, was Kat Edmondson, who was doing a holiday show. Same thing. I didn't know much about her. Looked her up, and now I listen to her music all the time in my car. I mean, it's really fun. She's kind of a throwback
Yeah, she's got a throwback
jazz
sound,
singer. Yeah, it's so different. But then she'll do some singer-songwriter stuff with acoustic guitar, and I saw her live, and she was great. And so that's another one I'm really looking forward to.
You saw her at one of the conferences, one of the
I
programming
did.
conferences.
I
you
saw
guys
her in
went
New
to.
York.
Yeah.
And she was such a presence, and it was like in a little small club. And the whole time I felt like she was just staring right at me as she's singing, and which was really awkward because then I'm like, okay, I can't look away.
It was like me when I
But
went
that
to
was-
see, when I went to see
yeah, she
U2
was
in
engaging.
concert on the Joshua Tree tour, and Bono was singing to me the whole
Yeah,
time.
but it was
Right
like,
there.
she was so engaging,
Sure.
and all the people around me though too were like, just like, oh my gosh, this is so good, and they're moving and just loving her music. And so I just said, I gotta bring her here. I think this is gonna be a great show for Livermore. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, and another singer-songwriter, Five for Fighting, is,
After 3 years of me beating you up.
yeah, Gary's been bugging me about Five for
This
Fighting.
is the second time being here, though.
Five for Fighting
Right.
has been here, but it was before Gary was
Oh.
here.
Yeah.
But Gary, you know,
I know John personally,
Yeah.
yeah. I used to tour with John, and Ruth wants to tell me this unique story about John. First of all, his songs, everybody will recognize he's got a fantastic voice. He's a great songwriter. I toured with him with a band, but I'm really excited to see the string quartet because I think his music fits in that type of situation. But John, I took John to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. I was the sound engineer in Guantanamo Bay for 7 years. So I would do all the USO shows that came in. But John is the only performer that they actually let play over at the prison. So the people that are stationed in Guantanamo Bay, when they do a duty at the prison, you don't leave the prison, it's on the far side of the island.
Yeah.
So they brought him in and he was a solo, and they said, well, we're gonna take you over to the prison and let you play for the guys that are stationed there. And that was the only time any entertainer or civilian was allowed inside the prison. It was me, John, and one other guy, so. I'm gonna have that reunion with him, and I'm looking forward to that.
that's
but
really cool.
That's really
His
interesting.
music is fantastic. Great piano player, great songwriter.
Yeah, that's gonna be an incredible show.
It is.
One thing we haven't talked about yet is comedy. And we have a lot of comedy this year. Is there any comedy shows that y'all are looking forward to?
Well, I'm a Paula Poundstone fan.
Paula Poundstone.
And she's coming soon. She'll be here on the 10th of June. And I got her show secured. And she likes her Pepsis. And
She does.
one year I bought the wrong size. And she took it on stage and she called it a dollhouse Pepsi. So it's the small mini. And ever
It's a
since
7-ounce size.
Yes.
She doesn't like the 7-ounce
No,
size?
No,
she
she likes
prefers the large regular. So ever since then, whenever I see a Pepsi, it's got to be a dollhouse Pepsi. And Paula, she's amazing. She is able to make a joke or a funny about anything she sees. When I drive her from her hotel to our venue, she will look at a stoplight and she can make that funny. She just picks stuff out of the top of her head. I don't know where she gets it, but that's how genius she
Didn't
is.
you she left her, one time she was here and she left her laptop at the airport?
Yes, yes.
And you took her,
No, I was able to intercept
happened?
the limousine company, and they were able to find it. It was still sitting on the table.
yeah.
And her manager she goes, "That was you?" I said, "Yes, that was our
So,
place."
like a week later, we get a postcard in the mail, and it's from Paula Poundstone for Pam, saying, thank you for rescuing my laptop. And the postcard is a picture of her cat.
Yes, she loves cats. Yes, yes. So she's amazing.
I think our comedy, I would say, I'm really looking forward to Amy Sedaris.
Yep.
Yeah, I was too, but I'm gonna be gone.
Oh,
Sugar.
Yeah,
No.
when is Amy Sedaris?
August 6th.
No,
No,
that's Maria Bamford you're thinking of, which is August 5th.
Oh, well, then maybe I will.
Amy's Friday, September 21? 22. 22. I caught myself.
Oh,
You did.
I caught myself on the record.
We'll allow it.
That one, it's a conversation with Amy Sedaris. So it's a moderated conversation, and the moderator is Jessica Aguirre, who is
The
the
newscaster.
NBC nightly newscaster out here
For the Bay Area.
for the Bay Area. She
Yeah.
lives, Jessica lives nearby. She's a Tri-Valley resident. Last time she helped us out was
Gala?
clam bake?
Clam bake.
Clam bake,
lobster
yeah, lobster
clam
clam
bake.
bake.
A fundraiser.
But she remembered us, and she's happy to help us out again. So we're real grateful that Jessica's doing that for us.
So that'll be more like a long conversation, like if she were to have a long conversation with Stephen Colbert.
Yep.
or-
Yeah,
Yep.
Right,
it's
it's just
Kind
more
of like
like
a night show,
Yeah.
even though,
late night.
it's, the show is titled A Conversation. I mean, I think of it like a talk show host. You
Yep.
can't help but when you're a funny person, you're gonna
You're going to be
be
funny.
talking and that's gonna be brought out.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be an amazing night.
Yeah. And the other comedy, I guess it's comedy, but it's also film, is Napoleon Dynamite Live.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Are we
yes,
like,
Yes.
Got tickets for that one
we
too.
going crazy for
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
one?
I think that one.
You're gonna have trouble
That one's
finding
gonna bring
staff
out
to
a
work
fun
the show.
audience.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be, I'm so looking forward to that. When you came in and pitched the idea of doing that, I was like, yes.
Yes, please.
100%.
Please don't say anything else.
Which,
Yes.
and we've never done a show like that, where you do a film screening with the stars of the movie there.
I think
That's
that's such
This'll
an
be a
amazing
first.
genre. I
Yeah.
wish that would be more of a thing.
Yeah.
I think that's such a great genre.
Uh,
Well,
Family,
speaking of,
family
like-
friendly though,
Yeah,
right?
I think
Yeah, but
so.
speaking of like interesting genres, we have History That Doesn't Suck coming,
That's good.
which is a podcast.
Podcast.
And he's gonna do it live on our stage. It's not gonna be recorded that night, but it's the podcast live on our stage. I'm a huge podcast listener.
Yeah.
All the time, with my commute and everything, I've always got a podcast on. So to me, this will be really a cool one. At a certain point, I don't even care what the podcast is about.
Yeah.
I just like them. I grew
Yeah.
up on talk radio with my parents. We
Oh,
always
yes,
listen to
I
talk radio. So to me, it's like long form talk radio that's really interesting, where they take a deep dive into a subject and you come out the other side of it really having a good understanding. And I think that's a cool genre that, maybe we'll see how that does, and we can branch out into that and do more of that
You
stuff.
might want to let them know that we can record it live here now.
I know,
Yeah. But that'll be a lot of fun because it's supposed to be funny too.
right.
It's supposed
Yeah, it's like, if you ever listen to the podcast History Doesn't Suck, he's telling these stories, and it's scripted somewhat, and there's music in the background, and sometimes it's light, sometimes it's intense, and there's sound effects. So if he's talking about a cannon firing or something, it's like as he's talking, and that'll all happen on the stage here. There's musicians coming with him, and he comes out, he plays the guitar a little bit. But it's pretty fun, and he's very intense and engaging and funny and all sorts of things. So
I think that
it'll
one's
be
really cool. So that's a tiny bit of comedy, maybe not full on
There's
comedy.
there's a little humor in there, but and he tells a great story. That's another one I saw when I was in New York. I saw him do this, and he talks. It's essentially the first 100 years of American history,
I love
from
that.
the Revolution through the Civil War, and his take on it is fascinating. It's really, really good, and it kind of reflects on where we are now too. It's a great talk.
Yes, I think it's really kind of cool that we're bringing
New stuff.
like new and
Yeah.
interesting genres like History Doesn't Suck and Napoleon Dynamite Live.
Yeah.
And we're even doing Coco.
Coco and
Live
concert,
is it live to concert?
Live in
Just
concert.
Live in concert.
live in concert?
Yeah.
It's a band with
With the
With
movie.
the orchestra.
the band plays the music while video plays.
It's
While
a
the film is
full
shot.
mariachi orchestra.
They
Yeah.
won so many awards for that film. So
Yeah.
many.
So many.
And there's some awesome music in it. Very family friendly.
Very
Great,
family.
great.
So it's History Doesn't Suck.
Yeah.
Family friendly.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. But we did get tickets for some of those too.
Yeah. So now that my kids are grown, I don't really sit in front of Pixar and Disney movies anymore. So it'll be the first time I see it.
Oh, that would be so special
Never
with
seen
a full orchestra.
Oh, that's a great show.
I've never seen it.
Honestly, when I added that sentence or somewhere, maybe the press release, honestly, it is a perfect film. Like, in my opinion, I mean, I'm a huge Oscar buff. it was one that should have also been nominated for Best Film of the Year, not just Best Animated. You know, it should have been like a Beauty and the Beast category. It's an amazing film.
They used to do that for animated films beforehand, but now they
So
added this.
few,
Now they added an animation area for best
Well,
animation.
Can we talk about one more thing that we've never done before? God is a Scottish drag queen.
Yes, God is
I was gonna bring that
a
up.
yes, God. Once you said that title to us, I was a little bit confused. I was very like, wait, that's a thing. I looked this up and I was oh. I had a lot of reactions to it when I saw that title. I was like, okay, I see.
Well, it's a one person show, and it's irreverent. It's funny. It's not, it's not off putting at all.
No.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it is, but it's how can I describe this?
Well,
God has like entered the body of somebody who's a Scottish drag queen, essentially, and is talking to the audience through this person on the stage. Yeah, it is really funny.
The clips that I've seen are really funny.
Yeah,
So I'm looking forward to that show too. It'll be fun.
And I think what makes it, successful in the clips and the research that we've done, I think that, uses this humorous lens to kind of comment on, us as humans, and in a funny and approachable way. And I think that that's kind of why, this show has had its life, I think, in the UK, or I'm not sure, maybe I'm mixing that up, but,
he's out of Canada.
out of Canada.
Yeah.
Mixing up geography. So, no, I think that it's very comedy, but talking about bigger ideas. I think that people can always approach that.
Yeah. So and that actually has been selling well since we opened.
Has it?
I know I haven't looked at the updated.
Yeah.
I'm always like fascinated.
I
It's
want to
like,
know what's selling the most.
I know.
Selling the
I need
best.
to look at
After the first
manager.
day, I didn't look.
Right.
Well-
I see it. I run my weekly report on Monday and become one with the numbers then.
Well, what's selling the best right now that everybody should get tickets to before it sells out, right?
The Righteous
The
Brothers.
Righteous
Righteous
Brothers.
Brothers. Yeah.
There were so many
Two
people
nights.
after our
Yeah,
announcement
nice.
party
Like
that
the
really
winner.
wanted tickets to the Righteous.
Yeah.
Do you know, I can remember putting the CD in our 5 CD changer when I was
Of the
little,
Righteous
like
Brothers?
the best of, one of their best of albums, and we listened to that a lot growing up. My
Just
parents
reminds me
were
of Top Gun.
Yes,
What's
yes,
funny that-
they have a lot of soundtrack
Yeah.
songs.
Earlier when you said like, oh, we know them, I didn't know them by name.
Yeah.
But this year, because of the Oscars and Top Gun Maverick, I actually watched Top Gun for the first time as well before that. So I
You
watched
had
them back
never
to back. I'd
seen
never seen it.
Okay.
So, but then I was like, wait, I know this song, but I know them. So it was like, and I was like, oh wait, they're in Ghost too? I was like, oh, okay, I know the Righteous Brothers. Like,
Yes.
What
Are
amazed
they
me-
also in Dirty Dancing?
Yes, they
Yeah.
oh, yeah, he
Time
was,
of Your Life
yes.
Time of My Life,
is
yeah.
Bill Medley's song. I was very surprised when I did some tours with them, and I was surprised at the breadth of the audience, from young to old with them. And they're just like hit after hit after
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah.
The music is timeless.
Yeah.
Yes.
Used so much.
I
was
got
great.
my parents tickets for that for their anniversary gift this year.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're a good
That's a
show.
great gift.
They're a really good show, and well, Bobby's gone, but Bill Medley, super guy, really easy to get along with. Nice
Yeah.
guy, you'll like him.
That's great.
Before we wrap up, and I know we're probably going to have to wrap up soon, can we talk about all of the amazing theater that's coming this year?
Yeah, and I wanted to
As
add
a
one
theater
too
geek.
before we leave.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, which one?
The resident theater geek here, I'm super excited about LA Theater Works Pablo Picasso,
Pablo.
or Weekend with Pablo Picasso, I think is the official title. That's in February.
February 21, Wednesday.
Oh, I should remember that. That's my daughter's birthday. I think that one's going to be great. He's going to be doing like painting and sculpting, and while he's embodying Pablo Picasso, so I think it's going to be fascinating. It's going to be visually exciting from that perspective. I'm also super excited about Selected Shorts, which is kind of theater. It's a famous actor or two will come read a story, mostly fiction, mostly short stories, but some of them will be maybe nonfiction. I don't know. It's very, vague in the
It's
description.
it's a
because-
storytelling show,
yeah.
and it's, if you go to NPR, it's just NPR show, selected shorts. And there's
Another podcast.
all these famous actors and actresses have done it. And there's going to be somebody, a pretty big TV or film actor that's going to be here doing that. We're not going to know who it is until about 4 weeks before the show.
That'll be fun to announce.
So you're kind of taking a risk, but it'll be fun, and it's a storytelling. We
Storytelling.
kind of think about the moth storytelling. So it's a little bit different than acting, but it's.
Yeah.
I think that'll be good. And the other one you were going to mention is probably Cross That River.
Cross that river.
Yeah.
I am
think
so
is-
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, it's about black cowboys in the West.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Who
it's-
knew? Well, that's why we need theaters to
Yeah.
tell us these
Tell us.
stories, right?
Yeah, the guy ran away
If we're
from
not
Louisiana.
history buffs, you know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't ever consider myself a history buff.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and
I
you love it.
I love it. But he ran away from Louisiana, got to Texas, and it's about a guy named Blue who I guess he's noted as one of the first black cowboys that made it out west. And so I'm looking forward to it to hear more, but it should be really exciting. The only other one I really wanted to mention though was our gala, our fundraiser.
Jason Alexander.
Jason Alexander.
Yeah, Jason
Seinfeld.
Alexander. I know, comedy, Broadway. They just announced that they're doing another Cinderella, so I'm hoping he'll be in that again. The Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella, he was in that one, and he was a lot of fun.
Oh, wow.
So I think he's just such a big personality for us to have on our stage.
Is he?
I had no clue he was a Broadway.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't. Everyone I've talked to
Yeah.
is like, oh wow.
But he's got to be. Now I keep rewatching Seinfeld episodes. He is the best one on that show
Oh, yeah.
by far.
By far.
And
He's
you know,
so good.
I mean, and he's won the first ever, because the SAG Awards came about in the 90s. He won the first ever Best Comedy Actor, I believe it was. But no, he's like the first. Like, that's amazing that
Yeah.
he gets to have that.
Yeah.
I was the first.
Yeah, the clips we've seen of his whimsical salute to Broadway, I think they're so fun. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
a huge night here
Yeah.
with a great, like, pure entertainer.
Yeah. And
Like
with
an
Livermore
entertainer.
Although I do have a
Amherst,
question about some of the props that he's asking for.
Oh, wait, what is he asking
It's
for?
like a
Well, I
hobby
don't wanna
horse.
blow.
or
Don't
something.
give away the spoilers. Let's save
Some odd
that.
props.
We'll save that for September 9th.
All right. Well, we didn't even get to the Ray to Row Speaker Series,
Oh.
but check out the Ray to Row Speaker Series. It's going to be really good this
Yeah.
year. But I think we're going to wrap it up. Thank you, everybody. You can go online if you're a member or not. You can go online, I think, by the time this video comes out, and you can buy tickets at livermorearts.org.
Yay.
Did I get it?
You got it.
All right.
Thank you. Bye,
All right.
everybody.
Thank you. That was fun.